All right. Attempt number 3432 this evening to go live. Sometimes technology and I do not get along. So we will see if we're online and live. I'm not looking at chat yet, so I cannot tell you. I'm working my way there live. And let's see if it'll let me watch it. Not even sure if anybody's here. And yay, we finally got the horizontal landscape mode. So just to prove to myself that I can do it, because I started this about 2.5 hours ago to try to figure this out. Went live a couple of times, and it was in the portrait mode and not the landscape mode. So me and Samsung and Hewlett Packard and whatever microphone company this is that I'm wearing, this little chibi mic, we had to figure it out. So anyway, this is just a practice session, and it's just practice for going live. There's nobody here yet. I mean, maybe you guys will pop on, but this is kind of just for me, just to get this live out of the way and work some of the bugs out, which obviously I had to do for, again, 2.5 to 3 hours tonight, when I was just innocently going to go on for like 30 minutes at 8 o'clock Central Time, and Mr. Technology had another plan for me, which is usually the case. So, all right. So I'm just going to go ahead and run through this live. Again, I know there's not too many, if anybody here. I don't see anybody, but anyway, if you're here, say hi. I don't bite. But anyway, I'm going to run just a practice session, no particular strategy, just kind of going to go through a session with $500 on a $15 table. I've got 200, 3, 4, 50, 75, 85, 90, 95, and 5. So again, just a practice session. I'm going to be throwing from the other end. I only have one camera on, which is my phone currently. And eventually I'll get a setup where, which I did have at one time, I'll have a camera on my dice set area on the other side of the table, which is just a 6-foot table, but I'm going to throw from the other end. Normally when I make videos, I just throw from this end here. But yeah, so we're just going to give it a whirl, see how it goes. All right, so started out with $500. There's some red dice. We're going to use those, and we'll take that. I'll tell you what my set is as we go along here. I'm not going to be the shooter. I'll be the shooter like every third shooter, kind of like I do when I do my videos. So I'm just going to do a come out roll here. I'm going to wait for a point to be set. For those that are interested in dice sets, which I use them just for the repetition's sake, not necessarily because of what they do. However, I do use a different set whenever I am doing the come out roll and I'm on the pass line myself. But just to start things off here, I use typically a 4-1-5-1 set, or I will use a 6-2-3-6 set. Right now we are using the 4-1-5-1. So we're just going to get started. Sets really don't matter tonight. It's just a practice session. So here we go. Dice are coming out. There's a 3-1-4. 4 is going to be our point. And just to show you here while we have the camera right here, what I'm talking about is 4-1-5-1, which most of you should know. Well, some of you may or may not. But anyway, the 4 is on top and the 5 is on top, and then facing me to the back are the 2 1s. So 4-1-5-1, 4-1-5-1. And then I also do, just for a general throw, I do a 6-2-3-6, which is 6 and 3 on top, 2 and 6 on the side. So 6-2-3-6. You can see that. And then when I throw my come out rolls, I do, when I'm on the pass line, I do 5-1, 5-1, 6-2. So 5 and 6 on top, 1 and 2 on the bottom or side, rather, facing me or towards the back of the table. And then I throw knuckleball style. I grip from either side. I don't put any rotation on it. I try to throw it as straight as possible and let it hit like that. So that's just to let you know. Anyway, so we set a point. It was 4. We have $500, $15 table. First set, or first bet rather, out of the gate here, we're just going to go a little aggressive and try to do a 110 inside, get a couple of hits, and then regress down to 66 if we are so lucky. So yeah, back to the 4-1-5-1. So I'm going to throw for now until it does not serve me any more of a good purpose. Nice out. There is a 5-1-6. All right, so we're going to collect on the first 2 hits. That 30 is going to pay 35. And I'm just going to collect on that. I've got my dice boat and my chip rack over to the side here. I am going to move that because I am going to play some hard ways and stuff at some point. But yeah, I'll leave. Per shooter, I like to leave whatever I'm making outside of the rack. I could put another rack up here, I guess. But for now, I'm just going to leave it like that. So, all right, back to the other end. I do have my mic on. It may or may not cut out on us just because of the time that I spent trying to figure out this camera orientation. I may have used up all the charge on my mic and mic receiver. 4-1-5-1 set, dice are out. There's a 5-1-6. All right, so that's 2 hits on the 6, which is good. 30 pays 35. Dealer, take me down to 66 inside. That is my 2 hits. So we'll just say 75 there. And we'll get $9 in change to make 66. And let's see, we'll get set up. We'll do about a 30-minute session tonight. Again, I don't know how many of you, if anybody's even going to pop in. Maybe you're watching this later. But yeah, if y'all pop in, say hi, give me a thumbs up, smiley emoji, whatever you want. There's my 66 inside. I am also going to put $2 on the hard 4 and hard 10. I'll put it to the outside there so you guys might be able to see it on camera a little bit better. And I'm going to stick with my 4-1-5-1 set on the old red flash dice here. And dice are out. Knuckleball style. Over the chips. There's ace deuce, 3 craps. No help, no harm. Where are we at? 10:33. So yeah, by 11, I'll wrap it up Central Time. Unless I run out of money first, which, you know, it's always a possibility. All right, 4-1-5-1. I'm just going to leave it at 4-1-5-1. If I change it, I'll let you guys know. All right, dice out. I try to hit like right here every time. Again, it's just for repetition. It's kind of a golf or bowling thing. You know, you get repetition. You try to do the same swing. Bowling, you try to throw the ball the same way. You may adjust, you know, to the left, to the right, up or down, whatever. Anyway, there's a 5-4-9. Now we are, since we kind of got our money back on our initial 110, well, yeah, we're pretty close. We'll start pressing a little more aggressively. 21 on the 9. We're actually going to press the 6 and 8 instead. So that pays 21. I'm going to throw in $3. There's 5. I'm going to get 2 and change. And that makes 24. So 24 and 18, I'm sorry. Yeah, 24 and 36 makes 60. So I'm going to take the 2 inside numbers there up to 30 each. That is the reason for that. So now I have 30 each on that. I may do a sister press on the 5 and 9 like that. But after that, then I'm just going to start pressing the numbers individually. So 4-1-5-1 set. I know I wouldn't say it again, but I did. All right, dice are out. And another 639. Okay, so now we'll do the 5 and the 9. That 20, I'm sorry, 18. Well, get it right first. 15 is going to pay 21. I'm going to put 10 on the 9 and 10 on the 5. I'll rack a dollar. So that's 25 on each of those. We'll swap that out, clean it up. And now I'm back at 110 on the inside, and I've got my Hardway 5 or Hardway 10, Hardway 4 at $2 a piece. So if we hit one of those, we'll take that winning and put it on the number that hits. All right, dice out. Oh, there we go. Well, I don't have any hard 8, but anyway, square pair, hard 8, 30 pays 35. Let's see what we're going to do here. We are going to go to dealer, take my 8. There's the 35, first of all. Take my 8 to 42. So their 2 red will go there. We'll collect the green. We'll throw in $2. And we are now at 42 on the 8. All right. $15 table, just to reiterate, just in case you join late. And we started off with the 110 inside, 2 hits, regress to 66, and then we're pressing back up. All right, dice are out. 516. All right, 30 is going to pay 35. We're going to do the same thing with that one. We're just going to take the 2 red chips, throw it on there, make it 40, and then we'll take the green chip, rack it, and then we'll have to grab another white chip out of the inside, and we'll make that 42. So the 6 and 8 are at 42, which is good because if those hit, that pays 49 or 50 for 1. So I'm just going to refresh here and see. I don't know if my chat's working. Let's see. I don't know if that refresh is even going to do anything. But anyway, still using the 4151 set. It looks like Clint's there. Hey, Clint, what's up? Appreciate you joining me on my messy evening of a live attempt. There is a 538. I did try to go live around 8 o'clock Central, and it just didn't jive. My camera, which I'm using as my phone, which I'm using as my camera, was not cooperating and was staying in portrait mode instead of landscape mode. But we finally got it figured out. Anyway, we hit the 8. 42 is going to pay 49 or 50 for 1. Dealer, take my 8 up to 60. So 2 green, 2 red, and then we'll put $31 in the rack. So far we're doing pretty good. We started out with $500. Clint, just to bring you up to speed. And anybody else that's there yet? Just got back from the casino. Oh, good deal. How'd you do? I almost took a trip to the casino today, but it's 3 hours there and 3 hours back, and didn't really have the bankroll that I wanted to justify the time there and the time back. So anyway, 4151 set, dice are out. And there's the 3 craps, ace deuce, no help, no harm. Anyway, as I was saying, we started out with $500, $15 table. We're still on the first shooter, and we started out 110 inside, 2 hits, regressed down to 66 inside, and now we've been pressing up since then. And then we have $2 on the hard 10 and the hard 4. Nice out. There's a 415. All right, we'll take that. 25 is going to pay 35. That's just going to be an easy press for us. We're just going to take the 2 red, go up to 35, collect the green, get a little stack of green over there. 50-ish bubble craps. Tony wanted to go for the hourly drawings. Okay, what casino? Where'd y'all go? What part of the greater lower 48 are you in? Or maybe you might not even be in the lower 48. Where you at? Where you at, Clint? I am in the far north Houston area, and if I would have taken a trip today, it would have been to Lake Charles, Louisiana. About a 3-hour drive for me. All right, dice out. 415 once again. All right, we'll take that. 35 is going to pay 49 or 50 for 1. We will now take our 5 up to 60. So 2 green, 2 red, collect a green, and we are back at it. Still using the 4151 set and throwing kind of knuckleball style. no spin, trying to hit about 4 or 5 inches right in front of the backdrop, kind of right past that 10 is what I'm trying to hit. About like that. There's a 516. 42 on there is going to pay 49 or 50 for 1. Dealer, take my 6 up to 60. So at any time, and whenever I say this, it kind of jinxes myself, but there's $31 going back to the rack. Anytime we could regress. I mean, we started out with 110, went down to 66, and we're well up above that now. We have 25 on the 9. We haven't pressed that up yet. 60, 60, and 60. And then we have our $2 on the hard 4 and hard 10. Still using the 4151. Seems to be doing well for us thus far. Dice out. And again, we're just going to do about a 30-minute session tonight. We'll wrap it up around 11 Central Time. There is a 325. Let's see, 60 is going to pay 84, or we will pay 85 for 1, just to make it easy. So there's 85 for $1. And then now it gets fun. Dealer, take my 5 up to 100. So there is 4 green for a black chip. And then we will rack $45 and toss the dice once more. All right, 6-foot table. I'm not throwing from a regulation table. This is a picnic table, I guess you could say, one of those lifetime picnic tables. And if you watch any of my other videos, I kind of promote them all the time. But this is a Grip Mats Deluxe Craps mat, which is 70, I think it's 72 by 30 is the layout. And you can see it's a really nice layout. So I like it. Does a 6-foot table well. All right, dice out. And a 538. All right, we'll take that. I guess I should have played the ATS, man. We're doing okay so far. So 60 is going to pay 70. Dealer, take me up to 90. So very easy. 1 green, 1 red. And we are at 90. And that puts $40 back in the rack. We're going to color up just a little bit here. We're going to stack over there. There's 5, 5, and 5. So that is $75 in red. There's that. We'll take that for the green, and then we'll color up the green. There's 4, 4, and 4. So that'll be 3 black chips. That way we get some change back over here. I've got a lot more chips. There's 3 that we're taking back to our rack. Got a lot more chips over to the side over here, but yeah, I don't like to put too many out here because I end up knocking them down. I need to get my wall chip racks there. But we don't have it yet. So we make do with what we got. All right, 4151, dice set. Aiming for just past that 10, bounce it into the wall. Dice out. And there we go, 437. All right, so that was a good run. I'm not complaining. Even if I did, nobody would listen. So we'll take all that down. I hate to take that black chip down, but we got some over there. We'll take these white chips down too. So that was shooter number 1. That was actually pretty good. That was a good long roll. And we made 350 over here. Started out with 110, so basically tripled our money on that shooter. So let's get us a new set of dice for the second shooter. I will be the third shooter, and we'll play the pass line. We'll play at 628 right there. 8's my lucky number, so I always try to find an 8 in there somewhere. All right, coming out, we are going to wait for a point to be set. I am still throwing the 4151 set. Dice out. And get that puck out of the way there. We got a 2x4 6. 6 will be our point. And we'll start off the same way. We'll do that 110 inside. See if we can get a couple of hits and then regress down to 66. All right, so there we go. And we can go ahead and pick up our hard 4 and hard 10 for $2 each. So what is that, 110, 114? We're 114 in. We could actually put them on. I guess we could put a nickel on both of those, but yeah, we'll just leave it at that. I mean, because that still will get us, $15 on the 4 and 10 if we should hit one of those. All right, sticking with the 4, 1, 5, 1 set dice are out. And we have a 6, 5 yo 11 that rolled. That was a 6, 6, 5 yo. No help, which is just fine. 4, 1, 5, 1 set. Aiming just past that 10 down there. Dice out. 5, 3, 8. All right. 30 is going to pay 35. That is our first hit. We are looking for 2 hits before we regress down to 66. Some people go for 3 hits, and I guess, if you've got the bankroll, you can do it. But we started out with 500. We made a little bit on that last shooter, so we're still kind of playing. Even though we started out aggressively with that bet, that is an aggressive bet, 110 inside. We're trying to protect it by doing a couple of collects first. All right, 4, 1, 5, 1. Quit talking and start chunking. 3, 2, 5. 25 is going to pay 35. That is our second hit. Dealer, please take me down to 66 inside. Keep that 75 there. We'll take that and put it back to the rack. Whoa. So 75 to make 66, you'll get 9 and change. And get set up 66 inside. That is 15 on each. So we go from 110 down to 66 after 2 hits. And we're basically out of the hand. And we'll just press as we see fit from here on out. I was kind of pressing the sister numbers on the last shooter. We could just press the individual numbers that hit, or press any number we want, really. But anyway, 4, 1, 5, 1, sticking with that same set. Nice out. And a 5, 3, 8. Get that away. Whenever I get my webcam set up, I do have it centered on that O to where you can see the dice better, whatever happens, whatever roll happens. Anyway, so 18 is going to pay 21. We're going to throw in $3. It'll take my 8 to 42. So we're just going to press the number individually now instead of the sister numbers. Otherwise, we would have taken the 6 and 8 up to 30 each, but we're just going to take that 8 up to 42. Leave the 6 where it's at. We'll just press the individuals and see how that goes. All right, 4, 1, 5, 1. Aiming just past that 10. Nice out. 6, 5, yo. Yo 11. Mid-mo, yo. No help. 4, 1, 5, 1. I know it's late in the evening, unless you're West Coast. 4, 1, 5, 1. But I did finally figure this out, so I just wanted to get a session in real quick. There's a 5, 1, 6. That is point hit. 18 is going to pay 21. We're going to throw in $3. I don't have it, so there is 5. We'll get 2 change. Dealer, take my 6 up to 42. So there we go. All right, and now bets are off. Everything's off. I'm not going to work anything. Not working to come out. Not working the hard ways. And we're still throwing the 4, 1, 5, 1 set. All right, dice out. 3, 2, 5. All right, 5 will be our new point. And we'll continue on. Still throwing the 4, 1, 5, 1 set. I'll probably keep saying it. I know it may be repetitive for some of you that stick around for a little bit. But if you're just joining, that's what I'm throwing. There is a 4, 1, 5. So buckshot, point hit. 15 is going to pay 21. What are we going to do there? We'll just go ahead and take it like we did last time. All right, so 21. I would say, dealer, take my 5 and 9 up to 25. So that'll be 2 of the red on each. Collect $1. Clean that up. Put a green chip on each. And we are off on everything. Inside bets are off. The hard ways are off. I'm not going to work them just yet. Started out with $500. So far, we're doing okay. Dice out. 4, 1, 5, 1 set. And another 325. That is 3 5s in a row. All right, that is our new point, which was our old point. All right, sticking with the 4151, doing us well so far. Aiming just past that 10 down there. Dice out. 2 by 4 6. That'll work. 42 is going to pay 49 or 50 for 1. The other take my 6 up to 60. 2 red, 2 green, and we take 31 back to the rack. All right. Next up. Still throwing the 4151. If anybody is watching, just say hi. Put a little emoji up there, or put a sad face now since I did a 6-1. And we're done with this shooter, which is okay. I'm going to be the shooter next, so we'll be playing the pass line. We did okay. Shooter number 1 and shooter number 2 did us fairly well. We're going to color up some of these as we go. There's 5 for 5, 5 for a quarter, and we'll take 4 quarters for a black chip. All right. So like I said, I'm going to be the shooter on this one, so I will put 15 on the pass line. I could play the don't pass, and we may do that at some point. Just depends on how the session goes. Just a new set of dice. I'll take the 5, 3, 8. So if you were here early, I said whenever I am the shooter for my come out, I do a different set. It is the 5, 1, 6, 2. So I'll show you that real quick. 5 and 6 on top, and facing the back is the 1 and the 2. So 5, 6, or 5, 1, 6, 2. That's what I use for my come out. On this table, which is only a 6-foot table, I seem to get a lot of 7 and 11s from this set. Let's see what happens. Dice out. Well, we got a jumpy set of dice there. I'll just use my hand and get that out of there. That is a 3, 1, 4. 4 will be our point. I will go ahead and play odds behind that. I'll play 15 back there. And let's see, we'll just go, we're going to go 66. Oh, we could go 110. Let's go 110. And see if we can't get the 2 hits. I'm going to have to get changed. There's a quarter for 5. 2 of those will go right there. 3 back to the rack. And we have 110 inside, plus we have our pass line with a 4 and odds. And then I will take $2 and pick up the hard 10. So all of our box numbers are covered. All right, kind of quiet out there this evening, and I know it's late. Like I said, I did try this at 8 p.m. Central, but it did not cooperate. 4151 set, dice out. And a 617. That figures, because whenever I shoot, that seems to happen quite often, but we're not going to get mad at it. We're just practicing here, so we may try something a little different just to kind of mix it up a little. We're not going to be the shooter for the next couple of shooters. See what time we got. 10:52. Yeah, we're only going to go about another 10 minutes or so anyway. I was going to go to about 11 o'clock Central. We'll take that 628. Move this puck down here just because I'm throwing down there, landing zone. Although, you know, I mean, if you're playing at a regular table, there's going to be some obstacles and maybe some popsicles. We're not going to put anything out there just yet. Let's go do the 4151 set. Aim just past that 10 down there and dice her out. Knuckleball style. 314. I just said 4 was that? No, that was the last one. Okay. So 4 is our point again. That was when we were the shooter. Okay. So now, what are we going to do? Said I might try something different, but then again, let's just stick with what we got. We'll do 110 inside. So there's 110. Get my green chips. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we'll pick up the hard 4 and hard 10. We'll pick them up for a nickel a piece this time instead of $2 a piece, just to be different. 4151 set, $15 table. Started out with 500. Dice out. My name's Keith. This is Craps TX. Thank you guys for joining. So now we're going to try to get 2 hits and then we'll regress. So there's our first hit on the 9. 25 is going to pay 35. Same bet. Put that over there in our rack. And dice are coming out. Ooh, got a little backspin on that one. 527, and we're done on that one. So that's a couple of shooters in a row where we didn't have very good luck, and that happens. But we still got some bullets, so we'll see what we can do here. There's another set of dice on the shooter number 5, I believe. We'll just take that hard 6 right there. Let's try working to come out. Why not? We'll just try something different. 110 out. And change for that. There's 110. 5 on the hard 4, hard 10. We are going to work to come out. So we are going to stick with the same set, 4151. Dice out. Aiming just past the puck there. 437. Wouldn't you know it? Work to come out, and I get worked. That's what happens. Get greedy. Try to get aggressive. Be aggressive. And now I think we're on to shooter number 6, which would be me. We'll take that 628 there. And let's see. Yeah, we got $15. So we'll put that on the pass. Or you know what? I'm going to change for 100 there. There is 100. I'm going to put 75 on the don't pass. All right. So just a little something different. See what we can do here. Oh, man. All right. So normally on the come out roll, if I play the pass line, I throw a different set. But here I am going to throw that same set that I've been throwing, the 4151. Aiming just past the 10 on the other side of the puck. Dice out. Coming out. 2 craps. Hey, that actually works for us on the don't pass. The don't pass pays on the 2, 3, pushes on the 12. So that is $75. We'll take that. And we lose on Big Red and 11. 4151 set. Dice out. Looking for a point still. There's a 12. That's a push on the pass line, or the don't pass. Bar 12 or push. All right, so we're going to try to play a little hedge strategy here. That's why we're starting off on the don't pass. Trying to get a point set so we can get past that vulnerability there. Dice out. And there we go, 3 craps. That also pays on the don't pass. So there's another $75. Just like that, we are up 150. Now we could change that. The don't pass you can move. It's actually not a contract bet. You can pick it up whenever you want, move it around, do something else with it, take it down, flip it, smack it up, whatever. Oh no, dice out. 6-5 yo, and see, that's where we should have taken it down, because we're now going to lose that. You lose on the 7 and the 11 on the don't pass. We will replace it. We're still up $75. So let's throw that 4151. We're going to stick with that. Dice out. And a 325. All right, so 5 is going to be our point. We have 75 on the don't pass. We are going to play 75 there. So we're not fully covered. We're playing 85 out. We got 75 inside. I'm sorry, 75 on the don't pass. We're playing 85 here. We don't have to play that much, but I mean, it's still a bit of a hedge. If we can get up a little bit, we could even pull that don't pass down. But we're still going to stick with that 4-1-5-1 set and throw that dice out. There's 2 craps. That doesn't do anything for us. I am going to pick up the hard 4, hard 10. There's a quarter for a nickel each. Hard 4, hard 10. And sticking with the 4-1-5-1 set. This is shooter number 6, which is me. I am every third shooter. There's a hard 6. That'll do us well. 30 is going to pay 35. We're going to go ahead and just do same bet. See if we can't get up a little bit again. I think we are playing with a little bit of house money out there, so I think we are in the profit on this shooter, which is me. 4-1-5-1 set. Aiming just past the 10 down there, throwing knuckleball style. Dice out. 3-1-4. All right. That is going to take our hard way down unless we want to keep it. We'll throw another nickel in. Keep my hard way up, please. And stick with the 4-1-5-1. Dice are coming out. Oh, a little arch on that one. There is a hard 6 once again in the wrong hard ways, aren't I? But that is our second hit. There is 35 on that. Dealer, take my 6, 8, and 9 down to the table minimum. Let's see, we'll get a quarter for 5. Another quarter for 5. And we'll fill this out. So that is 36, 15. That'll be 51. So we need 10 more. We'll take that nickel. 10 for, actually that quarter's ours. 10 for 10 singles. There's 5. That's what I'm trying to say. Another 5. So we need 3 each on the 6 and 8. So we'll take 4 back to the rack. All right. So yeah, we are basically out of the hand. And then now we'll just kind of press up as we feel. Let's see. Drop out the old man. Just found a sticky note and go to bed. Okay, Clint. Yeah, no problem. Again, this was just a test. First live, at least for me. I mean, I've been on other people's lives, but this is the first live for me. So it's just a practice and get ready for doing something a little bit more detailed later on. So dice out. There is a hard 8. We will take that. 18 is going to pay 21. I'll throw in $3. Dealer, take my 8 up to 42. So that'll look a whole lot like that. 1 green, 3 red, 2 white. All right. And sticking with the 4-1-5-1. All right, dice out. And a 6-1-7. Okay, so we lose these here, which, you know, sucks anyway. But the good thing is with our hedge and with what we won early on, we will pick up 75 for that don't pass there. So that was shooter number 6, and that was me. So we'll go one more shooter because I was just going to go about 30 minutes with this live just to test it out. I won't be using my phone on the next lives. We'll use a webcam, and I'm trying to get another webcam. I used to have one that would show my dice set down on the other end down there. And then I may get a third camera to show my ugly face. So yeah. All right, so we're not the shooter on this one. We're going to wait for a point to be set. This will be the last shooter. This is shooter number 7, the number you're not supposed to say, but we're going to call it a night after this. I got an early day tomorrow. Throwing a 4-1-5-1 set. Not that it matters. Nothing is out there. Dice out. We're just looking for a point, and there is a 5-1-6. All right, we'll do the 110. We'll stick with the 110. That seems to be working thus far, except for when it didn't, right? Every strategy works except for when it doesn't. There is 110, and then we'll throw a nickel each. Hard 4, hard 10, please. And that is going to do it. We could play a DC also, or we could lay the 4 or 10. But we're just messing around. We're not really doing anything completely serious this evening. We're just trying to see how the live game goes. There is a hard 4. That is excelente. All right, so 5 is going to pay 7 to 1 or $35. I will say dealer, take my 4 to 20, which that'll be that quarter there. And we're going to nickel back. So 4, we're going to buy the 4 for 20. We can actually take that down. We can buy the 10 for 20, and we can take that nickel down. So now we got everything covered on the inside, 110, and then 20 each on the 4 and 10. Now we can still regress. We're still looking for 2 hits on the inside to do that regression, but with the 4 and 10, we're playing with a little bit of house money, at least for those 2 numbers. So we're still throwing the 4, 1, 5, 1 set. Nice out. Oh, got to throw it over that 10 now. Did put a little arch on that one. Should aim right rather than still throwing at the 10. 5, 1, 6, that is point hit. All right, 30 is going to pay 35. That's our first hit on those inside numbers. We'll go ahead and same bet it. Bets are off. I am not going to work the come out. This is the last shooter for the evening. Start out with 500 on a $15 table. Playing 110 inside for the most part with a hard 4 and hard 10. Dice out. Looking for a point. And we got a 6-5 yo. No help, no harm. Should we see a horn and bet a horn? Probably, but we're not going to. So here comes a 2, 3, or 12, or a follow-up on the 11, most likely. Dice out. No, 5, 3, 8. All right, so 8's going to be our point. Make sure my microphone. Yeah, it's still on. Okay. Did have a long session earlier where I was trying to get everything to work, so I didn't recharge the microphone, so hopefully it's still working. Still throwing the 4, 1, 5, 1 set, and dice are out. That was a roller. All right, we got a 3, 1, 4. That'll work. So 20 is going to pay 40 for a $1 vig. We'll have a $1. We'll throw in 5. We'll get 4 and change. And we will get $40 coming at us. I'm just going to swap that out and say, dealer, I'll take that 20 down and just put that 40 up on the 4. We'll just go up in increments of 20 or, whatever the double is. So that, should we hit it again, would be 80. So then we'd put that 80 on there and collect the 40. Throwing the 4, 1, 5, 1 set seems to be working well this evening thus far. Aiming just past that 10, throwing knuckleball style. Dice out. 3, 1, 4, right there, back to back. That'll work. 40 is going to pay 80 minus a $2 vig. It is a $1 vig per 20. So there is our $2 vig. And we'll take that 40 down, and dealer, just put that 80 up there. So now we'll put 80 on the 4. Oh, we got some more people. Is it? Hey, Michael. Atlantic City. Okay. Yep. Oh, better outcomes this time. Yeah, there's some bad weather up there too right now, I think, right? Rematch. Some of your videos, get some new strats down. Okay. Yeah. Good luck to you, man. Atlantic City is one of those that I've never been to other than, I used to be a truck driver. I was over the road, been to all 48 states, 7 Canadian provinces. Been through a lot of casino towns, never really got to stop too much except for in Reno and some of the tribal casinos here and there around the country. But that was a long time ago. Got off the truck in 2012. Dice out. 2 craps. Nothing doing there. I'm not playing any prop bets at this time. We are on the last shooter, Michael. Going to wrap this up here shortly. I was just trying to test out a live for some stuff I'm going to do later on. Using my camera, I'm using my camera, using my phone camera, and was not cooperating earlier. Although when I do lives in the future, I'll use my webcam. I just don't have it set up right now. I just got back from a business trip. I have my laptop. This is what I normally use. I brought that up here and trying to get things set back up the way they used to be. So anyway, dice out. Let's see, 6, 4, 10. Okay, coolio. 20 is going to pay 40 minus $1 VIG, which we will gladly pay. There's 40 and pay our $1. Dealer, take my 10 up to 40. So we'll take that 20 back and leave 40 out on the table and collect that. So yeah, we started out with $500, $15 table. Looking at about a foot of snow coming our way. Yeah, I was just at a trade show in Indianapolis, and 5 other guys there from our company. They are 6 others are from the Buffalo, New York area. So yeah, they were not looking forward to what the weekend and coming week has in store for them. We're in we're going to be in the 40s in the morning here. It's really windy outside. You may be able to hear it from time to time. Anyway, 4151 set, nice out. But yeah, I'm down in the Houston area, far north part, and we got 40s, 50s, 60s tomorrow afternoon, sunshine, shorts weather, 325. All right, 25 is going to pay 35. We're going to press because we're doing okay over here. So we'll say take my 5 up to 35. Then we'll take that green chip. Good to collect the green in more ways than one. Still throw in the 4151 set. Oh, Mexico. Yeah, there you go. We were on a cruise the last week of January, went down to Mexico. Are you on a cruise, or are you on a all-inclusive resort type thing, or what? 4151, dice out. 538, and that is point hit. 30 is going to pay 35. I will take my 8 up to 42. So we'll put the 2 red there. We'll collect that green. We don't have the singles to throw out there, so we'll throw a 5. Get 5 singles. 2 of them will go on there to make 42. 3 back to the rack. All right. All right. Looking for a new point. Bets are off. Dice are coming out. And there we go. Whoa, jumpy. There we go. Hard 6. All right, so 6 will be our point. And we're just going to keep it as is. We're doing okay. We could regress at any time and put a good chunk of change back in our rack. But again, this is really not a serious practice tonight. We were just trying to go live, throw some dice on camera, see what it looks like going from the end, which I've been on other people's lives, and I've been on some dice tournaments, so I know how it goes when I'm on somebody else's. This is my first live by myself. So 9, 25 is going to pay 35. We'll take the 9 up to 35, collect that green, and keep on rolling. No resort in Cabo. Well, that doesn't suck still. That's good. Unless you're there on business and you're like, I don't know, digging holes in the sand for no reason. Hopefully not. Hopefully you're out there for fun. Dice out. And we got ace deuce, 3 craps. Nothing working there. Doesn't help, doesn't hurt. And we're still throwing the 4151 set. 4 and 5 on top. The 2 ones are facing me. Dice out. Knuckleball style. There's a 2 craps. I almost picked up that horn bet just for the heck of it, but we're just trying to get through this last shooter, and then we're going to wrap it up. We'll count up and see where we're at. Hopefully we're doing well. I think we are. All right, 4151. Dice out. 549. All right, 35 is going to pay 49 or 50 for 1. And dealer, take my 5 up to 60. That way we'll collect the green chip. And right back into it. All right. Got some good things coming up for the subscribers, especially. Once we get to 1,000, we're going to have a little drawing, some good giveaways, hopefully. At least hopefully you guys will think they're good. Dice out. 538. Once we get closer, I'll let people know kind of what's going on. I just don't want any vultures to come in. I'd rather have my actual subscribers be involved in it, and that's the way we're going to try to treat it. 42 is going to pay 49 or 50 for one. Either take my 8 up to 60, 2 green, 2 red, and then 31 back to the rack. We'll take that any day and all day, every day. 4-1, 5-1. Nice out. 6-1-7. Okay, there we go. Time to wrap it up. So let's see where we're at. We'll get all this put away. We started out with 500. We were just doing a little practice. Basically, I was playing 110 inside for the most part. Kind of aggressive for just a $500 bankroll. Obviously, that's not even really enough for 5 shooters, if you're going to play 110 per shooter. And I was paying $2 each on the hard 4 and hard 10, and then every once in a while I was playing $5 each on there. So sometimes I was 120 or 114 out. But anyway, let's go ahead and we'll just count this up, see where we're at, and call it a day. Call it a night. Have a nightcap. Let's see. Get all this out. Kind of why I like to color up as I go, just so I don't have to do all this at the end, like when I make my videos. But we'll do this. This was a live, so something a little different. Trying to keep the flow going. There's 5 white for red. And 5, 5, 5, and 5. There is 100 right there. So we'll just skip the green chip and go to a black chip for that one right there. And then on the green, we got 4, 4, and 4. So that is 3 black chips. So we start out with 500. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's where we had 1 and 2. 1, 2, 3. $203. And let's see what time it is. 11:16. That was about 40 minutes or so, maybe 45, close to it. No particular name for the strategy or anything. It was just 110 inside, like I said. 2 hits, regress down to 66, and press up from there however you feel like it. If you want to play the 4 and 10, I was playing the hard ways, and that was it. So a test live for Craps TX. Hopefully it went well. If you are watching this later on, get ready. We're going to do some more lives. We'll try to maybe involve some some tournaments, or not tournaments, but where you guys can play along, like with Crapsy or something like that. But yeah, we'll get that all figured out at some point. I'm old. Technology sometimes passes me by, but I try to keep up with it. So hope you guys have a good night. Hope your weekend is going well. For those of you up in the Northeast, I hope you make it through this weather okay. For Michael, I hope you enjoy Cabo. I'm sure everybody is jealous. I know I am. I'd like to be somewhere warm, but it's not too bad where I'm at. I can still get out and have a cold beverage. So we're going to wrap this up. It's going to look kind of janky because I'm just going to go over here and press the button on the phone, and it's just going to cut off. Really appreciate you guys tuning in. I'll just mention my sponsors real quick. PokerChipMania.com and gripmats.etsy.com. Go check them out. All right, we are going to end this, and hopefully it'll work. Have a good night. We'll see you on the next one.